Alright, good morning everybody. We have this beautiful G series for a brake upgrade, and I got this table set up. I'm about to get it rolled in. Okay, so here is the rear brake upgrade for the car. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna use Porsche Panamera calipers. The total piston area is very close to stock. It's right over stock, which doesn't make a difference on the rear brakes. We have an electric parking brake that is separate. We have adapters to make the factory parking brake work. We got a bunch of hardware. I have also bolts coming in. We have braided steel lines. We have 70-75 thick aluminum brackets to make all this work and fit together. These are anodized for additional rust protection, and we're about to start, but this is going to be beautiful, especially on this car. Man, this car is fire. We're about to get it on the lead. Alright, good morning everybody. So like I mentioned, we are working on this beautiful G series. I'm not sure what kind of red is this, but the car is, I mean, it's bucket seats, it's all the way loaded. It's a nice car. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna upgrade the rear brakes to the Porsche Panamera 4-piston full-size Brembo brakes. They gonna be this kit is going to be coming with the Tesla electric brakes, and we have adapters to make it work with the factory setup. So I got the wheel off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the wheel spacer, and we are going to get this caliper off and let it hang out the way for the starts. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take a couple bolts all the way in the back. Those bolts, they're external e-torques. Just gonna get both of them out, and we're gonna remove the brake rotor. So I'm gonna set up my phone so you can see what I'm doing, and we're gonna get started. Okay, so with the spacer out of the way, you're gonna have two Allen bolts that is gonna hold this brake disc in place. I always suggest using hand tools for these because they strip fairly easily. This car is kind of new, so they are not super rusted in or tight. So I'm gonna need both hands to actually get this undone because the wheel is still spinning. So, but otherwise, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get these two bolts off. I'm gonna try to set up the phone so you can see what I'm doing. Right there should be good. Yes, okay. Just gonna hold the disc. Okay, got it loose. With the brake disc out the way, I'm gonna remove this dust shield. Okay. So the car is practically new, so there is no rust on the hub or anything crazy going on the hub. Okay. Finish it by hand. So this is what you're going to be looking at. That's where you're going to start. Alright, let me get the bracket in and I'll show you what needs to be done. So what we're going to do is we're going to test fit this bracket. So it's going to line up with all the bolt holes for the factory caliper. The main bolts, the little M8 bolts going to go there, there, and there. And I'm going to set the phone so you can actually see what I'm doing, hopefully. Okay. Alright, so the kit's gonna come with a bunch of hardware bolts. Some is gonna install into the electric calipers, and some is gonna install into the actual. Yeah, you go ahead. So I'm gonna install into the bracket. This is what I'm gonna do now is bracket bolts. Gonna get those. These are the ones gonna come with the brackets. I'm gonna install these. Just kind of get it started. Make sure everything lines up. Everything is going to line up. Should be no problem. Okay. This is gonna line up.
Yeah, I'm trying to say a little bit of weight.
These there.
I'm not weight reading, man. Yes, sir. So this car is
Okay.
So this makes
Okay, so these are done. Now we're gonna use factory bolts from the back, from behind. The factory bolts. And again, we're gonna very tight it is for now. The flat side of the bracket is gonna come outside. The curved side, they got different shapes, is gonna go inside to the spindle because the spindle is not even. So I hope you can see what I'm doing there. Okay, let me get another. Where's the other one? There it is, the other bolt. Okay. So for now, I'm gonna let you go in just a minute, but for now we're gonna get these bolts. Check everything. Everything lays flat. There's no swivel, no curve, nothing. So I'm gonna get these tightened up. Once everything is tight, I always suggest blue Loctite on this bolt. So I'm just gonna take them out one by one, and I'm gonna get blue Loctite on those. But let me get back to you on this. Okay, so I'm gonna get rolling with this blue Loctite. Again, everything is super easy. Blue Loctite. Adjust the dab. Let me see. Make sure you can see. Okay. Get it in there. Gonna get it started. Pardon guys talking in the background, but I just never stop. I always talk. I wish they would work. All they do is talk. Alright, water's in. We're gonna let it dry for just a minute on the threads, and then we're gonna tighten it. I know I don't look good or fresh for the video, but I got it's been quite a week. And this car came out of nowhere. We had a plan for next week, but this week, today is getting it all done on a short notice. This set is gonna go to a different vehicle, but we got it all lined up. This one. All sets are super easy to install, as you're gonna see in just a minute. The bolts different length, so pay attention to which one goes where. It's super hot, so the fans are working in the background, and these guys are talking. So all right, now what we're gonna do next is we'll get this tightened up. I would say I don't have torque specs for this. I would say ideally you want to stay somewhere in 10 Newton meters, somewhere there. Just go by feel. I always suggest common sense. Just don't overdo it. It's aluminum spindle, it's M8 bolts. Now on to the main bolts. There's going to be a torque spec for the main bolts, but give me a sec. So just a light dab of blue Loctite, never hurt anybody. I always recommend being careful with this caliper, just in case, hold on to it. In case you decide to trade the car in or whatever you want to do, it's a good idea to have this sit in the box somewhere wrapped up. Make sure you don't spill any brake fluid. Brake fluid is very corrosive. It can damage your paint. It can damage plastics inside of the car. So let me get this here. Go. going in pretty easy with a Loctite in it. While I'm putting this bolt in, I'm gonna tell you that we're gonna torque this to 72 foot-pounds. It's gonna get little. We gotta keep in mind this is aluminum bracket, so definitely we don't want to overdo it, but we're gonna stay within the torque spec for the factory caliper. Factory caliper is steel. Just want to remind you. So we're coming up on that bolt here. I was gonna briefly let you know that the customer is the owner of this M3, opted for a whole 9 yards. He's getting graphene coating on their calipers. That way the brake dust and everything is super easy to clean. He's getting EBC red stuff pads, and he's also gonna get these guys here. Dayton's gonna replace his front pads with the EBC red stuff. It's my go-to pad. I love these pads because they grab like crazy. They don't squeal, and they produce, they do make some dust, but I think it's essential property for the drill discs. You gotta do more than the actual EBC red stuff compound. At least it's my opinion. I always had great experience with the EBC red stuff, and the red stuff is usually something I would always recommend if you can swing it. You know, they're kind of pricey for some people, but usually if you want to go all the way and do it right, that would be my go-to. So we're going to get EBC red stuff for the Porsche caliper. We're going to do EBC red stuff pads for the front calipers as well. They're going to install it right now. Let me let you go. I'm going to get the torque range, and I'm going to get it lined up right quick. Heads up, the numbers. Oh boy. Okay, so the numbers that I gave you would be Newton meters, not the foot-pounds. In the foot-pounds, we're looking at 59 foot-pounds to get these tight just right without damaging anything, creating, you know, making a proper setup. So now with the caliper bracket in place, let me go get the brake disc, and I will be right back with you. So now I got the brake disc. Make sure the brake disc is cleaned on the inside, as well as the hub area is also cleaned up. You've got to kind of go on the studs that are on the hub. Don't get just one of those bolts started in. Got to make sure that brake disc doesn't fall off from the the hub and hit the floor. Get this kind of started. I do have electric wrench, but it's right there. Trying to make a video short and sweet. I want to show you how easy it is to install this setup. Okay. You don't want to overdo these bolts because they will seize over time, and I guess they're made out of some kind of sheetrock jelly, because as soon as you put any pressure on this, they immediately strip out. So take time, don't overdo those bolts. Definitely use some anti-seize on these bolts, and don't overdo it. So anyway, so the disc is in place. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna test fit our calipers. I have two calipers. One's gonna be electric caliper that will go in a lead position in the front, and the main caliper, which is a 4-piston Brembo caliper. Let me see. So this is the caliper for the other side, but anyway, look, graphene coating, and these suckers are beautiful. As I mentioned before, owner opted for EBC red stuff pads, which I'm always all for it. And got the pads light out. Hold up. Yeah. Okay. So this is how it looks. I mean, the paint work, if you know what you're looking for, it is beautiful. Shout out to Shane, my painter. This guy is very talented. But anyway, so here's what we had. This is the caliper for the other side. The phone is actually leaning on the caliper I'm gonna use for here. But let me rearrange a couple things and I'm gonna show you how to test fit the setup before we disconnect the factory caliper. I'm gonna give you a quick heads up. So I got the disc on the mounted to the hub. I'm gonna check, make sure everything clears. There's about 3-4 millimeter gap. Everything clears, looks beautiful, everything sits like it should. Then the main caliper is gonna mount right here. The electric caliper is gonna mount right here. Here are the calipers, there's electric ones, and here is the main 4-piston caliper. Get the phone set up so you can see what I'm doing. Here is the caliper that we're gonna install right now. Of course, make sure your hands are clean so you don't mess up the pads. These are red stuff, like I mentioned prior. I think it's my go-to, and the owner agreed this is one of the best choices right now. Get your pads right. Okay. And I'm gonna get a couple of the bolts. Just gonna test fit everything, make sure everything slides on easily and nicely. Good. We'll start in one bolt. We're gonna start the other bolt. Like I said, everything folds in place, so super easy. I mean, this is the third revision we went through this kit. Initially, we had 2 revisions for the the caliper fitment, as well as the pad fitment. So there was a couple things. Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy was the first one to get this kit. But at this point, I think we got it to the T. Okay. So that looks beautiful. Excellent. Yes. Okay. All right, I'm gonna let you go. Main caliper on, everything fit and dropped in really nicely. As I mentioned prior, I'm still gonna tighten those bolts and the pistons. They're gonna push the pads out and they're gonna be closer to the disc, obviously. Now they're doing a brake pad change on the fronts. The car is practically new. It got about 800 miles on it, so. But I'm gonna install the electric caliper now. And I'll try to get my phone set up so you can actually see what's going on. All the pads are in, hardware, everything is dropped in. So now we got the...
You need brakes like that on here.
Okay, so let me get a couple bolts.
They're good.
Very nice.
What no, I think the Rebel was like a rotor. Stop tech.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty decent.
Make it so.
Yeah. I do the conversion because the WRX don't come with Brembo.
Oh, really? Oh,
Get the bolt started.
Only STI, and I get some STI, some calipers,
2 bolts, obviously.
and I do the conversion myself. But this car is so easy.
Yeah.
Be very careful, don't mess up the paint, but everything drops in so easily, should be no problem.
Let me put the STI calipers on.
I'm gonna get everything finger tight, make sure everything fits good, make sure everything clears, nothing's catching, which is obvious. Disc is stuck, so we're not gonna check for run out. Everything is a one-way fit. All right, so I'm gonna let you look at it. I think this is pretty badass, considering everything. Just to again, update on what comes with the caliper kit. You're gonna get pads. This owner opted for the EBC red stuff, as I mentioned before. Normally I use power stops. Low dust, good bite. These pads come with are generic for the Tesla caliper because it just holds the car in place. As far as the benefits of this caliper over stock, first of all, it's a monoblock caliper. It's a 4-piston. Total piston area is right over stock, which doesn't really make much of a difference on the rear, because rear brakes only do about, I would say, 25-30% of braking. This is a cage design caliper, so it actually structurally very rigid compared to stock, and it's a monoblock, so it's obviously it's equal pressure from both sides of the caliper compared to the floating design that only pushes one pressure comes from the other side and it clamps. As far as what else we got, we're gonna tighten this caliper up now. I think I'm gonna check, but I think it's 65 Newton meters, 65 or 70 Newton meters. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna get this lined up, and only two things we got left is swap out the brake motor, the electric parking brake motor, and the get the adapters installed. So we're coming up on it pretty quick. Do is we disconnect this plug for the electronic parking brake. Just kind of get it out of the way for now. So let this hang, and we are ready to remove this parking brake motor, which is going to be just 2 Allen screws on each side. Now I'm gonna find out which size they are, and I'm gonna let you know. Here's the adapter for the parking brake to make the motor work with your new calipers. I'm going to use this O-ring to seal it, make sure nothing is going to get inside, and then we're going to bolt it up to the back, which I will show you the end result. The caliper comes with the hardware for this specific process, which is going to be a bunch of little bolts, a couple 10s, and a bunch of Allens. So we're going to bolt this up. I'm going to try to get my phone set up so you can see. Here's the caliper. Here is the center section spins, so you just get it lined up with the, yep, that's it, kind of fell in place, you can see. So this star looking thing and the star here, they just line up and the caliper falls into its position. There you go, it just fell in. It feels fairly tight. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these little bolts started. The one that's are in the open, we will use the I'm sorry. The one that's in the open, we're going to use the Allen bolts. The one that's kind of closed up right here, we will use the 10, so we can use open end on it. So okay, so here's the idea. I'm gonna get this bolt tightened up. Just don't overdo it, don't kill it. Should be very easy. Okay, so here is the factory motor. I forgot to swap out the O-ring. Actually, yes, it's pretty important. So here is the O-ring on top of this motor. This what you want to do is use like an O-ring or a very dull pick tool and just get it off and swap it out onto the motor. So I got the parking brake motor in place. Make sure all bolt holes are open. We're gonna use factory bolts for this. The one that came with the one that came from the parking motor. Sorry, I'm trying to think and do stuff. I'm trying to walk and chew gum and it doesn't work. It's too early in the morning. Okay. So anyway, so here's we are. Just gonna get it. Just want to show you what I'm doing. Just go kind of even on each side. Don't tighten one side and then the other one. Just kind of take your time. Ideally, you'd want long bits for Allen, but we do what we gotta do here. Okay. So now that it's tight to the adapter, I'm gonna get it little. Don't go crazy with it. Just kind of I don't have a torque spec. My guess would be again 10 Newton meters probably. All right, that's it. Okay, so here's the final setup. We're gonna get those 2 bolts. We're gonna take a look where we at with this whole setup. Make sure everything fits, nothing interferes, everything clears, and we should be done with this part. That should be the easy part. But I'm gonna be back. See what I'm doing here? I'm gonna get me one of those long M10 bolts, just because so I can plug the caliper in. Everything's wide open. Everything's wide open. I'm gonna show you where I'm at with this. Let me get this stock caliper out of the way. Okay, so it falls in right in place. The plug on the motor goes up, so we can actually, let me show you. I hope you can see. So here's the parking brake thing, and the plug goes up. So everything looks pretty good. Let me, I'm going to play with the wires, and I forgot to tighten those 3 bolts adapter to the caliper 3 bolts. So let me get this out of the way. I'm gonna take up much of your time. This is the bolts that I need to tighten. Bam. So it's Allen 10 Allen. They are the same size as factory bolts, so we'll have to switch out the tools. Okay. Gotcha. Now I'm gonna use open end 10 on this. Next step, we're gonna be routing the brake line for the main caliper. I supply just generic brake mounting kit, so I suggest using this bolt. The stud for the control arm. Just gonna take the bolt off, which is 21 millimeter, and it sits right there, super flush, right in the socket. So you have to increase the size of the hole in there, just using a grinder or a step bit or whichever, to the I think it's M12. And then just gonna tighten this up, and we are getting very close to having this setup done. Okay, so right here. All right, let me get it tightened up. Okay, so I got these tightened. This bolt is tightened. It goes past sway bar. It clears. There's over 4-inch space. Because keep in mind, the sway bar does move a little bit. It moves with the bottom control arm, but it does move. So make sure you get enough clearance here. So the only thing that we are getting too close is actually getting this brake hose hooked up to the factory brake line. So what we're gonna do is, I'm pretty sure it's 7/16 or 11 millimeter. I'm gonna use the flare wrench. We will disconnect this hose there, and we're gonna let the hose drip out while we are actually connecting this thing. So just key thing is, do not cross thread this. It is super important not to cross thread this thing. I will see if I still gonna use this spring piece, or we can go without it and install the brake line. I'm gonna let you know shortly. Let me see. To sum this up, we got the brake hose ran. It goes through this bracket. We'll have to enlarge obviously the hole to go through this M12 nut, stud. Here is the connection. So it's gonna be a washer, factory pad spring piece, and that's about it. That's all you need to do. Everything sits firm. Nothing is going anywhere. So we are about ready to bleed the brakes. So we're gonna connect a couple of those bleeders here. So let me get everything set up. But here is the way the brake hose ran. Make sure to double check it on the compressor suspension, because right now the wheel is hanging down. So once you are ready to actually once you get the car on the ground, you know, just make sure that the line is still a little ways from the suspension parts. There's nothing is catching, nothing is rubbing, but it should be pretty good to go. So this is it. I'll be back. All right, so I'm finishing up this side. It's good to go. Same way, the brakes are bled. It's super straightforward, super easy. All the bolts are tight. Nothing is leaking, so we actually got the brake pad sensor out of the way, but you can run it over the caliper on top of the control arm and install it. But otherwise, we are set. Everything's looking really good. This is it. We're gonna throw the wheels on and go ahead and bed in the brakes. The car is buttoned up, everything is bled. We're about to go for a test drive. It looks beautiful. As you see, 4-piston monoblocks, perfect fit. Bumper lip. Yes. Yeah, buddy. Beautiful car. Yeah. It's on. Car is done. The brakes are on, no leaks. Looking beautiful. It's a badass spec, M comp, full PPF. This car is done right. Yeah, buddy, beautiful. Easy peasy. I would say probably 4-hour install, start to finish. We've been chatting a lot, so I set it 5 hours, but all in all, quick heads up for the guys that's gonna do this upgrade, the rear brake conversion. We had a lot of brake lights. Car was kind of tripping balls about this new brakes, but we drove it about 5 minutes and everything, it clears, all the codes cleared out themselves. Everything works well. I mean, it's just beautiful. This is yeah, this is amazing setup right there. Yes, so this car is new. I think it's about 800 miles on it. So here's a dual caliper kit, Porsche brakes, Tesla brakes, custom bracket, everything works great. Customer is ecstatic about this upgrade, and very easy, super easy. So yes, nice. Look at that.